So finally, a lecture that you have all been waiting for. What are the possible career paths out there if you don't have an engineering degree? So this lecture is for all the peeps out there who have done B Pharma, BSc, BA, or any non-engineering course. And basically the whole fundamental is we are also making this course not just for the technical people, for all sorts of people, for all age group of people, whether you are a pass out or whether you are a student. We are just trying to make you understand that it is possible for you to start things, to get the initial momentum, and basically you can be a solopreneur, or you can also decide your field. Without further ado, this is career paths without an engineering degree. So let's just dive in. So let's bust the myth, right? So let's get one thing clear from the start. You don't need to be an engineer to be successful. I'm going to say it and repeat it again. You don't need to be an engineer to be successful. Sure, coding is cool, but the world doesn't run on just software. It runs on ideas, execution, design, marketing, storytelling, operations, research, branding, logos, and much more. Today's digital world is full of career options that don't require a BTech, but they do require, and listen closely, they do require is curiosity, initiative, skill building, motive, and execution. So whether you are from arts, commerce, design, or even science, maybe a CA, this session is your career GPS, where you might find where you will end up in, right? I've already mentioned it before, but throughout this whole introduction module, what we are trying to do, we are trying to understand you as well. This is not just a course that will teach you how to run ads or how to make a website. This is a course in which I am trying to understand you better. What your interests are, whether you like designing, whether you like marketing, whether you like helping out people, whether you like arranging events, right? So throughout this lecture, I'm just trying to figure out what interests you the most. All right. And based on that, we will, move on. Okay. So I guess let's jump on to the next slide. The new word of work, right? So work has drastically changed in the last 5 years than in the 50 before it. Obviously, a due credit goes to moving into the complete work from home model around the COVID. But again, if we look at a bigger picture, work has changed drastically in the last 5 years than the 50 before it. Like if you ask your grandpa, he definitely had different work conditions. If you ask your father, he might be having different culture, background, or things like that. Basically, everything was different, and you are working a completely different model. Even your, parents or your relatives might be surprised, like, why are you sitting around in your house and still getting the money, right? So today, people get hired from a single blog post, a well-designed portfolio, or viral Instagram page. And companies, especially startups, no longer care what degree you hold. Let's be honest, they don't really care about what degree you hold, they care about what you can do. And platforms like LinkedIn, Behance, Upwork, and even YouTube are your new career playgrounds. In this world, you don't need a CS degree to be digital, you just need direction and a bit of internet skills, which I suppose a lot of you might be having already. Alright, so let's start the saga of what other profiles are there, what other segments are there, what other teams that I could work with, right? So first we'll start with marketing and content careers. Obviously this course is about digital marketing. So first we'll start with marketing and content careers, like how obvious that would be. And as you can see, I've already written on the slide that what roles or what required skills could be there, but listen to me, okay, if you want to know what could be there. And so I have a question for you. If you're good at understanding trends, writing captions, or telling a story, and if you are good at it, then marketing might be your zone. Roles like social media management, content writing, email marketing, or SEO don't need tech degrees. What they need is strong communication, And by strong communication, it just doesn't mean that you know how to say hello or whatnot, but you understand the psychology of words that are there. All right, so let's start the saga of what other segments, roles, profiles, teams that are out there that you could might work with, or that might suit you. And we are going to start first with the marketing and content careers profile, because obviously this is a digital marketing course, so we are going to say that first. And don't worry, we are going to jump around in all the sections. So all of you who might be having question, okay, the CEO is there, but what are the teams that are out there? So we'll go all through that one by one. But starting first with the marketing and content creators role, content careers roles. I've already written, by the way, I hope you guys are looking at the slides as well, not just, falling asleep and listening to me. And I'm also trying to be as entertaining as possible. So please stick around. I'm telling you, this introduction module is all about understanding you. I don't want to just, come around on a lecture, teach you how to run a Facebook ad, which you can already do by going through a YouTube tutorial. This is there just for a better understanding. And this is not for the audience. I'm just trying to understand you, the one who is listening to this lecture. I am trying to be your friend. I'm trying to be your mentor. I'm trying to tell you what experience that I have and what I learned so far. All right. So please make sure you look at the slides as well. So again, I have a question for you, by the way. Tell me if you are good at understanding trends, writing captions, or telling stories. And if you are good in these things, then marketing might be your zone. Roles like social media management, content writing, email marketing, or SEO don't need tech degrees. What they need is strong communication. And by strong communication, I mean you at least understand the science of words. And science, I mean science of word, not just SIGNS science. Okay. So what they need is strong communication, awareness of digital platforms, what I mentioned before, like understanding how internet works, and a grip on content strategy. If you have ever made a meme or made your group laugh, or might have shared it on the college group, okay, or written a blog about something you liked, about a mobile phone you really liked, about some game you really liked, or managed a college page, I'm pretty sure a lot of you might have, then you're already halfway in. All right. So this is around marketing and content career profiles. Let's see what other profiles that are there. So we are legit on the creative and literal creative profile things that are there. So this slide or this particular segment is for those people who, and by the way, just let me get one thing straight. If you're a good artist, that might mean that you may be a good designer, but it doesn't mean that if you're not an artist at all, you can't be a designer. So let's get one thing straight. And again, I have a question for you. If you love making posters and you enjoy color palettes, you love blue there, green there, and it could be, beautifying things. If you enjoy layouts, if you enjoy product aesthetics, like this is really cool, the button there looks really nice and things like that, then welcome to the design role or design side. UI UX designers, graphic artists, motion designers, and branding experts are some of the most in demand folks in startups and in agencies. And the best part, no one asks for a degree. They will only ask for your portfolio. Like, show us how creative you can be with the things that are there, with the things that you have done. Start by learning tools like Canva, Figma, redesign a few app screens, and like if you do all these things, then boom, you're already building experience. And by the way, a pro tip for you, check out the website Awwwards. Yeah, that is how they pronounce it. So there's a legit website known as AWWW Odds, Awwwards they call it, and they feature the best websites or the best design work that is there on the internet. If you are into design, make sure to visit those websites. Apart from Behance, DeviantArt, ArtStation, all these cool things you might be visiting already, but I would highly suggest you to go and check out Awwwards. There are some of the craziest people out there. I've seen a portfolio, like a person completely Ghibli-fied the whole portfolio. I'm pretty sure a lot of you might know about Studio Ghibli after this whole ChatGPT boom. Before that, there were already a lot of enthusiasts who were into Ghibli work. I personally myself, and there was this guy who made a portfolio, didn't know any sort of coding, but still he worked on that portfolio, and it took him a lot of hours, and he made a very visual portfolio. And I might show it to you later in the course, but I would highly suggest you to go and visit that and let me know how you like it. So this is all about design and visual communications. Moving on to the next segment. All right, so the heavy profiles are coming in, and we are talking about the product and project management side. Yup. If I'm pretty sure if as soon as I mentioned all those things, you might be imagining people in suit and whatnot. But the real thing is, if you are the kind of person who loves organizing chaos, bringing people together and seeing ideas go live, and loves numbers, product or project management could be your path, right? These roles are critical in every company, and I am going to underline this fact again. These roles are critical in every company. They need people who think clearly, who can communicate well. Basically, what idea or what things that are going in their mind, they are able to articulate and document that out. And those who handle feedback very carefully and like very smoothly. They don't get mad if you give them feedback. So if you are able to think clearly, if you can communicate well, if you handle feedback, then no need to code. You need to coordinate, lead, and execute. Start by managing a team project, or you can organize an event, or building workflows on Notion, which we will teach you in this course as well. So a lot of things, right? So product or project management could be your thing. All right. And by the way, guys, I'm really sorry if you see some glare on my glass. This is the first time I'm like shooting this course, so don't mind me. I'm just trying to make this as good as possible. I hope you guys are liking it so far. If you have any feedback or whatnot, I'm pretty sure there will be a way to pass it down, so feel free to give feedbacks as well. And so again, coming back, product and project management. We have learned about marketing, we have learned about designing, we have learned about product and project management. Now, what other things that are out there, which I'm pretty sure you're not aware of? So let's see. Here comes the money roles. I mentioned in last profile, right? You might be imagining suits, but in this particular segment, you might be, completely imagining some people in suits, right? So we are talking about business and strategy rules. So, oh, they sound so spooky, so big profile, right? So heavy profile, but let me break it down for you in very simple words. So not everyone wants to write content or design logos. Some wants to make processes work. Okay. Business roles like growth, operations, and customer success, etc., are about making things run smoother and smarter. They are all about optimizing process. They are all about spotting the friction and making sure things work properly. And again, if you love numbers, solving puzzles, or coordinating logistics, then this is your zone. And what I would suggest you, if you want to check it out whether it's your zone or not, start by mastering Google Sheets. And by mastering Google Sheets, I'm not asking you to just go ahead and mention rows, columns, and things like that. Try putting formulas. I can give you a cool basic project, like if you are not sure what you should eat, figure out 50 dishes that you like, put it in a sheet, then make a random function that it will give you a random value from these 50 rows, so that it is easy for you to know what kind of food you are going to go for in lunch, right? That's a cool project that you can have. So start by mastering Google Sheets, learning Google Docs, and the daily use thing that everybody uses but nobody pays attention to. If you love working on those things, if you love exploring tools out, excuse me, if you love exploring tools out, if you love trying out or crossing the potential boundaries that are there around any particular tool, project, or user feedback, or anything, right? Then this is your thing, right? And also, pro tip, also learn about real startup case studies. Okay, I'll also teach you, or I'll also let you know what I know about studying real startup case studies and where you need to go to find the genuine stuff. Okay, so this is around business strategy roles. Moving on to the next sector. This is the fun slide. This is my personal favorite as well, like community and people roles. So every brand today wants not just customers but communities. That's where roles like community management, HR operations, like for now. So that's where roles like community management and HR operations come in. You plan events, you manage Discord servers, you engage with users, you keep teams happy and connected. You might start a meme event. So all these kind of things. If you are naturally social, uh, empathetic, love organizing people, these roles are like cherry on top or gold for you. And plus, many community leaders go on to become founders or heads of culture. So that's a cool thing. Coming to the profile that we are seeing right now is that creator, educator, and solopreneur paths. Yeah, that is a word, solopreneur. If entrepreneur could be one managing a big team, rising a startup, but before that they are solopreneur. Or this could be, I'm not pretty sure where this word comes from, but this exists. All right, and this is for the bold ones. If you'd rather build your own brand, content, and education, like and like if you love doing this thing, right, building your brand and making content and educate people, then these are the particular segments where you can shine, my friend. Okay, you can start a channel, you can teach what you know, you can build a newsletter, you can write about a niche. The creator economy is open to all disciplines, by the way. There is no particular requirement or anything. This is the most approachable and open hand, discipline, basically open hand segment that is there. Anybody can come into this segment. And many of the most successful online educators don't have engineering backgrounds. I am pretty sure you might have seen on YouTube, a lot of them are, but unfortunately or fortunately, I do have an engineering background. So apart from that, I would have given you an example of mine. But yeah, there are many cool educators out there that I have learned from. They don't have any engineering background, so that's really impressive uh, and mind-boggling, right? And I can assure you, like, the one thing that they already have, and they will have is clarity, commitment, and content discipline. They knew what they were doing. They had an idea in their mind and clear picture of what they wanted to do, what they wanted to build, and they know about the things that they bring to the table, the knowledge, the values, and most importantly, they are disciplined. And discipline doesn't come, you need to do this. If you are solid about something that you need to make this happen and you can do this, then discipline like just follows you. Okay, so creator, educator, and solopreneur path, again a cool thing. Now we have learned about all the different segments and whatnot there. But now, what should our next step be? No matter what you choose, here's the ultimate career growth formula: learn, build, show. Learn from blogs, YouTube courses, creators, build mini projects or mock work, uh, from newsletter to brand decks. Like, show it off, document your learning, post progress on LinkedIn or your portfolio. Because in the modern hiring world, your proof of work is louder than your resume, right? And know this, like, there will be a lot of times where nobody is going to care about your degree, although that will give you a heads up. But first, the priority, the thing that will matter is how skilled you are, what new thing you can bring to the table. Will you be able to execute the process that are going on? Will you be able to handle them? Will you be able to manage them? Will you be able to understand the work? So that is why your proof of work is louder than your resume. If you can show them, like, let's, for example, in your college you build a chat bot in which somebody, if people want to know about you, you can have a chat with that bot, and that bot can tell them what you up to, your LinkedIn profile and things like that. So like, that would be so much better than sending someone a resume. Let's say, for example, you connect with someone on LinkedIn, maybe somebody from Reddit, you want to work in Reddit, you connect with someone, and you, apart from sending your resume, you send to them a chatbot. You tell them that go ahead and have a chat with it. This chatbot will tell you everything that is there around my work. So that will be so cool, right? You didn't need to do anything, you already made an impression. So in uh, in retrospect to what we have worked or learned so far, those are the things that will get you to your next milestone. That is why learn, build, and show. All right, guys. So final thoughts. I have written it clearly on the slide. Your degree is a door, not a cage. You're not bound by your degree. If you've done engineering, that doesn't mean you can't go for business profile. If you've done BCom or something like that, doesn't mean you can go for coding, right? So, uh, I'm what I would say is that college is a place where you explore things out, where you understand what you're interested in, and apart from that, it teaches you basic practical stuff. It makes you street smart. It puts you in position where you need to come with ideas and improvise. So yeah, your degree is a door, not a cage. It will teach you, apart from academics, it also teaches you a lot of things. You can make networks there, you can try new things out there. So if you've ever felt limited by not having an engineering degree, it's time to shake that off completely. The world has changed, and what matters now is, can you think well? Can you learn quickly? Can you build something useful or beautiful or impactful? Your degree is just the beginning. Your skills and curiosity will take you the rest of the way. So take the leap, explore the space, and don't wait for a title to define your worth. All right. So this is it for this lecture. I'll see you in the next one. All right.